So I brought in a few friends to help me discuss this. We have with us Miss Allison Roan, fabulous. We have Jasmine Anton McLeod. Years and years, there's been lots of talk about what is ILLuminati. Is it an organization with just entertainers, politicians? What does it go deeper How is it that this 235 plus year organization has gained so much power, has kept its power, and it's become this that she said, so-and-so's not it, it's this and that. Like, how is that so, and how and why are we still falling into the hype? Those of you who don't know what it is, what is ILLuminati from your research?
It does mean the enlightened one, which is illuminating one, which is illuminous, like to give something light, and you know, derived from like, you know, a bunch of religions being pulled together. Very intelligent men feel like they are smart enough to make decisions for the population, and they feel like if they get that power and make decisions for the population, then people are better off that way. So it's one of those organizations where, you know, just powerful people, and of course it gets stemmed down to Jay-Z. Like, Jay-Z would never have any discussing who could be a president or, you know, how much oil prices are going to be.
The most interesting thing I read is that, I mean, not even going to the entertainment side of it, but that they're the ones who pick the, you know, political leaders that we listen to today. You know, they're the ones who have the real pull, which is why I think, okay, so if it is this big society, why would it be so on a mainstream level?
I think people like conspiracy theories.
Exactly.
People like to talk about them, people like to blow them up and make them what they are. And I think especially for disenfranchised groups of people, for us to make sense of what's going on in the world, we like to pick up on something and like run with it. So I think that makes total sense. Like, why would Jay-Z be the person who picks our president?
How does one join the so-called ILLuminati?
They'll come to you and say, look, I own CBS, Time Warner, Disney, and he owns, you know, all of the car industry, and we want you to do something for us. And, you know, that could be just, yeah, sure, why not? You're going to pay me how much? What?
But you as someone who's of power
yourself. Like it's being a So it's like you're inadvertently chosen, just like a rapper is chosen by a producer to say, I want you to be the person who's going to make a bunch of money off of it.
But putting like you're saying like the Satanism on it, putting like all of these different religious facets on top of that is, I think, where people get a little out there with it.
Yes.
You know, and don't get me wrong, I think that there are groups and people who feed into that and make it even more than what it is. But I think that makes complete sense. Why wouldn't we unite and join groups all the time? You know how to do this, I know how to do this, let's get together and do something together. So that makes sense to me. I think it's the religion aspect of it that gets me a little like riled up. Like, does this make sense?
Which is interesting because when you research it, there's kind of two sides that you can find. There is the religious, satanic aspect of it, that you have to do this, you have to, you know, sacrifice someone, and there's so many layers that are that you have to do to join this. And then there's the other side, the historical side of it that started in, you know, and how has it today become this so-called league of rappers and entertainers and politicians, and I don't even think it's them who's in it.
There's a whole machine behind these people. They don't pay for their own videos. They don't, I mean, the music that they make, labels can take it off, put it on, they put out these albums. So I was gonna think anyone was a part of ILLuminati, it wouldn't be someone on a major record label.
It actually makes more sense to say that powerful people are, you know, found ways, and this actually sounds more extreme to some people, but powerful people found ways to demoralize and keep people, you know, in a certain level of mind control.
Right.
But these other guys are making 100 times more than Jay-Z's making off of me, because they own where I buy a CD,
no one knows their names.
they own where I buy a car, they own where I buy a watch, they own where I buy a newspaper.
But with that said, there's rappers, you know, the late Tupac Shakur, I listened to an Audible interview when he was talking about how when he was in jail, you know, he said, verbatim, you know, people was coming at me about ILLuminati and getting them dollars and this and that, and that he's, you know, the martyr, and he's, you know, died. He was, you know, he died over that. So
and that's true. That's true. I honestly believe that in this world, You know, there's two ways to go. There's the way where you kind of grease palms, and then there's dying for what you believe in.
Okay, so talk about the grease palms. What do you mean by that?
Grease palms is like if you're a black man and you want to become a president, there's no way that you're going to do that without having to do bad things at some point or having to.
You really believe that?
I honestly believe
so
that.
So what did Barack Obama do?
I'm not saying
exactly. Because not one person who's tried to bring him down has had one like iota of like.
You really think if they wanted to bring Barack Obama down, they couldn't? It's not something that he doesn't. Becoming president doesn't give you power. It takes away your power. Us as citizens have more rights than Barack Obama does.
But I also believe that there are people in the world who have called to a higher destiny, and they really have kind of led somewhat of an upstanding life.
It's way beyond that. It's way beyond corruption. So if you are called to a higher destiny, that you still have to pass this block. You know, you still have to pass these areas, and you still have to, you know, if Barack Obama was truly, if Barack Obama was truly, this is what a president, you know, would, somebody was to become the president, you really could take George Bush to jail for all of the crimes that he's done. You can, a lot of things that you do have the power to do, but you would get killed. Well, somebody would kill you. If you came out and said, look, we need to stop oil. We need to stop pumping oil out of America. Somebody would kill you. So what Barack Obama says, look, we got to open some offshore oil in, we got to do this, we got to do that, it's going to create jobs. He doesn't mean that, and he knows that's not true. But there's things that he has to, there's a role you have to play, just like everybody in society.
Well, I believe
you have to play a role in order to do something good eventually.
Right, it's
he is doing good things, and I totally back him, because I think he just signed a thing to make the UN strong, and making the UN strong is going to, you know, take away power from greedy people in America to say, like, look, we got to think about the world now.
There's certain decisions you need to make. But in terms of gaining power and becoming a powerful person, I think that there are certain people, to Melissa's point, of people who, yes, there are, you know, people who, you know, grease palms and do what they have to do and, you know, connive, and maybe it's not conniving, maybe it's just but there are people who just do it in a way that's like spiritually gratifying, in a great way to do it. I think there's a lot of examples of those.
A lot of them, if a man got as influential as Barack Obama, the last man we probably know is Martin Luther King. He died for it because people knew that he got powerful and he didn't have to go to trial. He got powerful just on, you know, he was a pastor. This is a man who believed in nothing but good. And that's scary to people who, you know, believe in greed and money. Money is a very, when you get into a place in this world, you know, money trumps that. So you have to kind of, you know, Barack Obama made a lot of money. And he didn't make a lot of money by just people donating money. That was a lot of people.
But he didn't make it doing anything.
He did have lobbyists. He did have lobbyists.
You're saying that you have to do something wrong to
he made $700 million on his last campaign.
But that's he was busting his butt. He can't use that. I mean, yes, he was busting his butt, but that's not money he can just use at the you know, to gamble next week. That's like money he has to use on a campaign. So it's people who believe, who believe in his ideologies that back him.
But most of that money comes from lobbyists. That comes from a lobbyist who works for a company that works for a company that works for Ford.
Right.
And that wants
I agree with that.
And things like that. So most of his money comes from lobbyists. You know, we all could donate. We don't have enough money to give him $700 million.
Do you think that the Illuminati picked Barack Obama?
I think they picked Barack Obama. I don't think they in particular Illuminati, but I think it was powerful people that, of course, controlled the country.
Let it ride.
So Jasmine, you're shaking your head yes. Why do you think that?
I don't know. I have my own way of thinking. I do think for a person to get in a really powerful place in life, I think it's something that is beyond that person. Like, I feel like that person would have to be like picked out before he was even thought of. That's my way of thinking.
To get to a powerful place in life.
Yeah, like a powerful place where you're like really making some really big decisions for other people.
I disagree, and that's the whole reason I wanted to personally have this discussion, because I truly believe that when you're in a place where you're really working hard in life and you're really super focused on your goals and you're going for it, you make a lot of sacrifices. Not that they're evil or that they're unhealthy sacrifices, but in general you make sacrifices. And if you combine that, I can only speak for myself personally, I have a strong faith in God and the Lord orders my steps. I know that He's guiding me and this is where I'm meant to go. And why is it that we can't just accept that these people know and they feel something within themselves or whatever it is, to put in the work and get there? Why is it that automatically put a label on them saying they're Illuminati, they're evil, someone paid this? Why
rather than being like ordained by God or something like that.
Rather I honestly feel like it's people following their destiny. I feel like society is corrupt, and I feel like everybody, if you've seen in history, you know, people, and they pick on entertainers because entertainers become robots. Beethoven went crazy because they say, yeah, you're a great man, but you're also crazy. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm just making music. Why are you giving me all of this pressure that I didn't want? I'm hearing music. I don't hear nothing else.
Right. What shocked me
people choose.
was when I read, you know, Michael Jackson's song, They Don't Really Care About.
Exactly.
And that he is tied to the iLLuminati, and that he died because he was exposing the organization. Do you think that's true?
I think Michael Jackson was, I couldn't even say if he was killed or anything like that. I think Michael Jackson was one of the first products and probably an example for entertainment to come. You don't remember how many years he thought he was crazy and all these things, and now it makes it easy for somebody like Jay-Z to roll these things off his back and say, Illuminati, haha, and say this, you know, and Michael Jackson couldn't do that. Those things affected him. Look at Beyonce. She's like, people can say whatever the hell they want, and this woman is going to make money probably until she dies. Why? Because there was people like Michael Jackson that showed her this is what it's going to be. You know, even that Billie Jean. Billie Jean was them about making rumors. That was a rumor.
And I saw you shaking your head.
You said the death of him because he was exposing what it was. I don't think it's that deep. I mean, like, he was just somebody who was caught up in the industry. If you're not dealing with the right things, like, your fame and all of that good stuff can turn bad just as fast as it went good.
You feel that a lot of people in extreme power have made choices? I mean, aside from the usual sacrifice, you know, time, all that.
I really don't know what to believe in because I'm not, like, you know, I can say something and it could totally be the opposite of what we're all talking about right now, and we have no clue, you know what I'm saying? But it's just, I guess it's whatever you believe in, but it just shouldn't be taken to the point where now you're like, what I'm saying is fact, and this is fact, and I know that.
Right.
And, you know, whatever I'm saying is trumping what you're saying because I know that, because you don't really know it. It's just something that you can think about and maybe, you know, want to wonder about.
I think people should be okay with not knowing. I think that this world is universe. You know, me and Jonathan watch a lot of things about the universe, and it's like, what? I'm fine.
I think this
I'm
not knowing is what gets us in trouble. Young adults, we need to educate ourselves
don't drive yourself crazy.
Not being sad. Yeah, you can't say that I'm gonna go and find the answer. The journey to the answer is finding out. You know, I'm gonna find out. Like Stephen Hawking said something that I thought was the best thing that anybody could ever say. He said his goal in life is to find out everything in the universe and how it works. He can never accomplish that, but that goal made him the smartest man on this planet. And that's it. Just go, just learn. If somebody says that, like, let me find out. Instead of, this is fact now, and that cut me off from everything. I believe in the Quran, and that cut me off from everything else. Or, you know, I believe in, you know, Taoism, and sorry, Christ, I'm not even going to read that. You know, it's like that. Or I'm not even going to watch these cartoons. My mom won't watch Harry Potter because that's witchcraft, you know? And it's like these things is like, I can't believe, why would you not want to just, you know, the journey.
But you know what? We do need to be sensitive to what we listen to, what our eyes see, and what we put into our subconscious.
Well, you are what you, you are what you.
A hip hop head to the max, and I'm also trying to learn to be conscious of, okay, well, what am I really listening to? You know, what I claim to be a Christian in Christ, like, yet there's certain things, you know, I say and do that I need to work on. So where's the balance? And how much can I get away with not knowing? How healthy is that? And I think we're just giving ourselves an excuse. Where do we draw the line?
Well, I believe everybody needs to have their own belief system, the things that they hold dear to them and they believe are their truths. And if you believe in your truth, then you're going to stick to things that stay along those paths. You know what I'm saying? So that makes sense for me. Like, yeah, you're right. You can't just be everywhere, do everything, and like call and chalk it up to like, that's the way I'm going to live my life. But I think the thing is that whatever I define myself as has nothing to do with what you define yourself as, if that makes sense. Like, my truth doesn't necessarily have to be your truth, and I think that's where we get into trouble.